and away we go.
All right.
We're on.
And we're on.
It's as easy as that.
Hey.
Liam Zolo's back. Katie.
Zolo and KT show.
KT show with our awesome guest,
Yes.
Mr. Johnny Cash. Can we say Johnny Cash?
Yeah, you can. I've answered to words.
We all have.
So we've got Dan in here. Do you want to introduce
Dan Thompson.
guest, Dan Thompson?
Who does the Johnny Cash show, travelling.
Johnny Cash live, travelling around the country singing Johnny Cash songs.
Wow, and he's just about to go on tour with a new show, is that right? Yeah.
Yep, starting in a couple of weeks. So we've got a couple of shows in Sydney and then off travelling around the country for the next 6 months.
Wow. And so in terms of new show, how is it new?
Well, I've been doing this for about 10 years and touring since about 2012. So each year we sort of restructure the show and put a bunch of new songs in. The great thing about Johnny Cash is he recorded 1,500 songs in his career.
Did he really?
So, yeah. So there's plenty of songs, and there's plenty of great songs too. So you can almost go out and do a completely brand new show each time. So this year is the 50th anniversary of the Live at San Quentin album. So we're basing the tour on the content of that album.
Yeah, wow.
If you don't like Johnny Cash, just go for that voice.
I'm bringing the voice with me.
What's your favourite song? Do you have a favourite song? Is that a stupid question to ask?
Yeah,
it's 1,500.
Yeah,
songs.
Before we came on, we talked about Hurt a little bit, the Nine Inch Nails song that he recorded. That's a favourite to sing. I love singing that song. There's plenty of songs. It's all about the stories with Johnny Cash. It's great stories to be told, and each night it's different because people sort of react in different ways. So there's a different favourite every night. Yeah. And
how did you get to Johnny Cash? Like, obviously you have a musical background.
Yeah, I've been a full-time musician for 25 years now. So, since I was 4 years old.
And you're still alive.
I'm still alive. So, look, it's about 10 years ago I got the opportunity to do a Johnny Cash tribute night at the Brass Monkey at Cronulla. And it went well, so they asked us back, and it went well, so they asked us back again. So pretty much, from there on, so I've always sort of been drawn to those telling story songs, and Johnny Cash's music is full of it. And, with my voice, there's always been the odd request to sing some Johnny Cash. So, it's always been a favourite. So, it was a bit of a natural thing. Yeah.
Do you ever want to venture out into your own songwriting as well? Do you have that ambition, or? I
have done a little bit over the years. I had an album of my own material a long time ago now, and it's something that I'm sort of working on towards getting a new album of my own stuff as well. So I do a little bit of songwriting. I wouldn't call myself a songwriter. I know some actually really good songwriters, so I wouldn't put myself in
their category.
But I've written a few things.
Is it more being a great songwriter and producer, I guess? Is it just time and effort, or is it talent backed by time and effort?
It's a combination. Yeah, look, I think the really good songwriters treat it as a job. They sit down and they write, and it's like an office job. So it's the people who tend to be really good at it treat it that way. Yeah.
Can I ask if you've ever had a backup job? Because I suppose there's not many people who can say that they do what they love and make money from it for 20 odd years. So
when I came out of school, I had a job in an oil factory down in Botany for about 12 months, and I thought this is not fun. So I used that as motivation to avoid having a real job, to be honest. So I've in the music industry, you kind of got to do a little bit of everything, and I've done all of the sitting in the corner of pubs and clubs and playing to the backs of people's heads, and I run trivia nights and things like that as well. So anything to do with entertainment really. So you just got to say yes.
And do you have a vision of where you were, I guess, 10 years ago, and then have you matched it now? And then in the next 10 years, do you have a further vision where you want to go?
Look, it's this show has been a long process of building up a fan base to it, and we've become pretty successful over the last few years. So it's when we first started doing the shows, I didn't really have any sort of big ideas of what it was going to become, but it's really become a career for me, and I think I'm really fortunate to have sort of come into this the way I did. You know, it's I feel pretty lucky that I get to do this for a living.
Yeah,
yeah.
Must be an awesome job to go around singing your favourite songs
cool.
from one of your favourite artists. So
yeah, it's you know, there are hard parts to it, but I would certainly never complain about it because it's great fun. Yeah.
Well, especially with what you do, because there's a whole production side behind it. And we were just talking off air about touring and how many people you take, and it's a whole project when you're taking 5 or 6 people to different parts of Australia. Then having to worry about hiring musical equipment and whatnot, and that just started from this Johnny Cash.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. Yeah, you kind of start, with no big ideals about it, then somebody offers you the chance to go and play in a different state, and then all of a sudden, there you are, out on the road. So yeah, it is a big production, and it's it's not by any means a huge production, but it's it certainly is a lot to take on, a lot to travel around the country, and there are people that sort of. My band that travel with us everywhere we go. It does take a bit of coordination.
So, can I ask another question about musos?
Yes,
that's what they're saying. I hope I said it right.
Yeah,
musos. So musos,
tend
to be a different breed.
Yeah,
that's what I keep hearing.
Oh yeah.
Explain this breed. And if it's to do with drinking and partying, I think I'm in that same category of the muso, but just can't sing.
It's I wish it was.
Fine element missing.
It's not so much drinking and partying these days. I mean, my guys, it's we all have families. We all, it's but. Yeah, it's certainly a different breed, and I can't really explain what that is.
Yeah,
there's musos, and then there's drummers, of course. So, and then there's sound guys who are a whole breed unto themselves.
Oh, really?
So, they're an interesting bunch. All the techie guys, they're they know what they're doing. But it's not trying to insult anybody.
No.
But yeah, we're certainly a unique bunch. Creative people sort of tend to be a little interesting, and I'm included in all of that too.
It'd be pretty interesting though to sit down with more people who are just ultimately creative, just to see the conversation. That's why it's fascinating to sit down with someone like yourself who has that creative mindset. To think differently. Is it differently because you have a different world point of view, or are you just open to different things? Is that what people?
I don't know. I don't know how different. My life is from anybody else's, to be honest. I mean, it's but it's it is a bunch of creative people out there, and I mean, I'm very lucky to have a great bunch of guys and girls that we travel with, and really great personalities. There are, over the years, you come across people that, sometimes you may not want to come across again, but I'm very, very lucky to have some really great people around, and get to travel around the country with some good mates and make music.
Yeah.
With the show, has there been anywhere that you've gone that you thought, wow, I never expected the audience to be that crazy or that passionate? Or
I mean, look, there are some great places to go. WA is fantastic. It's a beautiful place, and the people out there really, really love their music too. So, we've had some amazing times in Western Australia, and but all over the country. It's a common sort of love of Johnny Cash is a pretty cool thing. But there are some places that people really dig it. So it's pretty cool.
Is there like, do you see more success from the crowds that you have there, or is it like you having a successful night? Is it more the crowd that's buying into the music, or is it more how you sing the songs?
You get feedback from the crowd, you get energy from an audience, so it's you got to go out there and give it to them to start with, but then but if they give it back, then it really makes nights pretty great, So
it's almost like, is that where the stage comes from? You set the stage of the energy that you want to be providing, and then they usually bounce back off you.
Yeah, I mean, if you go out there flat, and you can't really expect much back from people, But I mean, look, with this music as well, there's plenty of energy to it, So it's not hard to get up for it.
Can I ask, how do you remember all of the words?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of words in Johnny Cash's songs too. Some of those songs have 10 verses in them, I am just able to do it, which is It's sometimes I sit back and think, well, I don't know how I do, but they just sort of stick in there. So,
and I mean, how many
the
times
storytelling side of it is it helps as well, because all you got to do is remember the progression of the story, and then you know where you are. But the songs that I have the most trouble with is the ones that don't have a story to them, that are just telling a particular snapshot of something, but aren't particularly in an order of story. So they're the ones that I really have a problem remembering lyrics to.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I can listen to my favourite song over and over again. I still stop up the words when I sing it.
No, they're singing it wrong.
They are singing it wrong.
They're singing
so
it
I
wrong.
always wonder, how do people who sing remember all of these words? I mean, I suppose there's sometimes you've got to stuff up.
Oh, yeah.
Probably cover it really, really
there
well.
There are times, I mean, like Ring of Fire, the songs that, everybody knows at least some of the words. I've gone to open my mouth and the words haven't been there, most definitely. At times you just go,
yeah,
no idea, and then you give it a second, and then all of a sudden they come.
Yeah.
I get a lot of times, I'll be playing and singing and open my mouth, and I have no idea what's about to come out, and then all of a sudden the right words come out. So it can be interesting. It can be there can be moments on stage where you just absolutely panic because you don't know what's going to come next. Especially with the amount of lyrics that I have to remember. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
What about, as in being a musician or a singer especially, is that a talent that seems to be like again with songwriting? Is that something that can be learnt? Yeah. Or is that taking away from people who are talented like yourself around singing?
Oh, look, I think, there's...
Because I'm a rock star. So
yeah.
When I'm in the shower or in the car, oh, mate, any chance I get, I'm banned from weddings now. I always... The bride and groom have had in the past to come up to me and say, look, Liam, you can't go up on stage. My one request as a bride, you're not allowed to be on stage singing tonight. Well, I don't know if it's because
I think
I'm just stealing their show.
Your question.
Yeah.
The desire to sing may not equal the ability to sing. But look, it's it's hard work, and it's I as a young bloke, I had guitar lessons and singing lessons and and all of that stuff. It's you put the hard work in and you get the results. Like with everything.
So even now, do you reckon you could teach someone like myself to sing? Can anyone be taught? That's what I mean. Like at any age, can anyone start to sing?
Look, I kind of believe that pretty much anyone can sing. It's just about the level that you want to get to. If you want to go and sing at the Opera House, maybe not.
Yeah.
But if you want to get out and bash out a tune at the local pub singing karaoke, I don't think that there's anything that stops most people from being able to do that. I think it's more in your head.
Yeah.
About 95% of singing's in your head.
Well, there's nothing that stops me from going there.
No.
Under the influence, I'm
under
sure.
The influence.
I mean, it depends,
just the people that are around me.
It depends on if you want to sell tickets. That's
Do
you want to make money from it? That usually goes with everything, right? You have
probably have a better chance than a comedy show.
Yeah.
I just find that interesting, though. You see all these great singers out there, and I just don't know if it's because of their upbringing. They're just always around singing, and someone's told them at a young age they're talented, therefore they just believe in that talent, they work hard at it, or are they the type of personalities that, like for example for me, rugby league was a skill that I wasn't naturally great at, but I continued to work at day in, day out. My brother was a talented one, but he just gave up. So my I guess skill and will was more will than skill. And that's what I just want to know.
I think to a certain extent you can overcome a lot of stuff with just will. Yeah, most definitely. You got to work bloody hard to do it. But yeah, look, I mean, there are people over the years that haven't had the greatest voices in the world that have been some extremely successful singers.
Yeah,
and it's about how you overcome whatever you're lacking in some area. You don't have to be able to sing like Frank Sinatra to be a great singer.
Well, it comes down to the presence as well, especially with what you do. There must be, I don't know the percentage of it, but a percentage must be presence on stage as well as the singing.
Look, I mean, it's stuff you learn over the years as well, and it's just persisting. There was a time when I had no idea what to do with a band behind me. You know, but I learned how to do that by putting a band behind me and then making myself do it, you know, putting myself in the situation where I had to learn how to do it. You know.
And your favourite Johnny Cash song?
Yeah, there's so many of them. Yeah, like I said, you know, I love A Boy Named Sue. I love Ring of Fire. I mean, I love the big hits, but I also love the things that sort of tell you a bit about who Johnny Cash was and what he stood up for. I think that's one of the great things about Johnny Cash is that people relate to who he was as a person and what he had to say. And the songs that sort of tell you about that and where he was coming from, they're the ones that I really love. Things like Man in Black, which he wrote about himself, and that was really just summing himself up. But there's a lot of songs that sort of relate to who he was and what he had to say.
So, when is it coming out, the new podcast?
The podcast, well, that's what we're here for, yeah. So I'm going to start to tell some of those stories. So hopefully within a week we'll be up and running with this podcast talking about Johnny Cash and his music to start with. See where we go with it.
Yeah,
interesting.
Exciting days.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
If like that's what as a fan of Johnny Cash, I mean, you're going to be doing it anyway, but that's what I'm excited to listen to, the lyrics and what they mean, if I've missed something and those sorts of things. So I'm actually interested in that side.
Yeah, and there's amazing stories. There's so many stories that go with the songs in all music. There's some great stories behind all music, which I love. Sort of the ins and outs of what's behind the music and how it was created, the songs and all that sort of stuff. So so Johnny Cash is not just about those songs, but it's about the stories behind the songs. That's what we're going to be talking about.
Yep. Stay tuned.
Yep.
Stay tuned. So just before we go, if anybody wants to see the show live, when are you going live and where can they get you?
Johnny Cash cashlive.com.au is the cashlive.com.au is the website. We've got a couple of shows in Sydney at the end of April, and then around the country up until September.
On tour.
Yeah.
What stays on tour? What goes on tour stays on tour.
Yeah, always. How do you know that rule, Katie?
I heard it.
Yes.
You heard it.
What some of the podcasters have told me.
Thank you so much for your time, buddy.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, guys.
Thank
you. Cheers.
See you later.